Parlays and Pints. I'm Bob Goff.
I'm Shane Holsey.
And of course, this is brought to you by Utopia Event Center and Heck Gaming. And we are getting down to the nitty gritty in football season, especially on the college side, in which we have Thanksgiving coming up. And of course, we have a lot of traditional rivalry games coming up next weekend. We will have a show next weekend because of the holiday. So we'll kind of get a lot of the stuff leading up to it here. The Missouri Tigers taking on Oklahoma. Oklahoma with a very impressive win at Alabama last week. And we hear Bo Pribula might be coming back, but we don't know yet. Oklahoma by 7.5 seems pretty safe to me, and I believe black and gold.
The 7.5, I think if Pribula wasn't playing, it'd be more 10.5, 11.5. So that line might tell you Mizzou is, or that line tells you that Pribula is probably playing. I think 7.5 is a fair line. If you're a Mizzou fan, obviously just bet smart, but. Take the 7.5 points. I wouldn't bother with the money line. I don't really see him winning at Oklahoma, but keeping it close, yeah.
Do you like the over/under 41.5?
That is awfully low, isn't it?
It is.
But two really, really good defenses, especially Oklahoma at home. They're not going to give up more than 20 points, you would assume.
Yeah.
That is very, very low. I'd probably stay away from that.
Okay. All right. But is it low enough where you take the over?
No.
Okay.
Not with these teams. Not with these teams. And yes, Missouri put up 1 million points last week, but Mississippi State, Arkansas might be the two worst defenses in the.
Well, and at least Mizzou still gets to play Arkansas too, so there's that still. So the weekly Will Ohio State cover question this week. They are playing the Rutgers Scarlet Knights
football,
and at Ohio State 31.5.
Still don't think it's enough.
Not enough. So.
This has like 42-7 written all over it.
And that would cover. So there you go.
Yeah.
Georgia. Now we got this weird week in the SEC where a bunch of SEC teams play a bunch of patsies. They have the schedule to where you can take your bye early and then you can play a cupcake later. And so some opt one way and some opt the other. But yeah, Georgia's Charlotte 43.5.
I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, not even with it. So
these you get up over 5 touchdowns. That's you're.
Yeah, we probably won't mess with those. I just wanted to point that fact out about the SEC this
There's
year.
A handful of those.
So, or as it's been the last few years. So, Oregon 9.5 over USC, and it is in the Autzen Zoo.
Man alive, that's a lot of points, isn't it? You would think, but
for a rank for a top 20 USC team.
But you see that 9.5, you think it's a lot of points, but Oregon could be up 7 with 5 minutes left. Kick a late field goal, score a late touchdown, win by 2 scores, and you cover. I would probably lean Oregon at home. Nothing's told me otherwise. Yes, USC, impressive comeback victory over Iowa last week. They've played well as of late, but I don't see them going into Oregon and winning necessarily.
59.5 is a lot of points too. That's
it is, but 2 really, really good offenses. And might be to maybe keep an eye on the weather. The weather can be tricky up there in Eugene. So if it's going to be rainy, windy a little bit, might lean towards an under there.
Notre Dame Syracuse is a 35.5 point spread with a 50 over under.
Yeah,
50.5.
Is Syracuse going to score more than 7 points?
Probably not.
That line
Probably not. Early in the year I was going for the Aeneas Williams touchdown prop bets, and he wasn't getting the ball much.
And now they're beating everybody.
So he's getting some time. I think this might be a good Aeneas Williams touchdown prop bet.
Or like if it's over under rushing yards or whatever. I don't know.
10,
whatever the number
20,
is.
20, yeah. So all right, I might do a little of that for the Hannibal kid this weekend. Really, the college slate is.
It's an odd one.
There's not a lot of great. Tennessee, Florida is great because of the rivalry. Tennessee only favored by 4 in the Swamp.
Yeah, because it's in the Swamp. And this Florida team has reached up and gotten some teams. There's still a lot of talent in that Florida. They have some talent. There's not a good team. There's a difference there. There's not a good team, but the talent will allow them to hang with most teams in the country if they catch you on the wrong day.
57.5 the over/under on that.
See, Florida's been they either score 10 or they score 30.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Which one do you think it's going to be?
I like this one to be a shootout in the swamp.
Most Tennessee games have been this year.
Yeah, Tennessee definitely puts up the points for sure. The NFL, we've got our Thursday night game, Bills Texans. The AFC is just so. I mean, right now the Kansas City Chiefs are 2 spots out of a playoff spot right now. So the AFC has just been bizarre. Texans the Bills are favored by 6. It's at Houston, but have we heard about C.J. Stroud playing?
And again, that's 6 number, I think, tells you he's probably not playing. If he was playing, it'd be probably more like a field goal.
Yeah, because the Texans are actually, their defense is good.
The defense is good.
They've been playing better. The South, the dirty South in both conferences is just, it's really a crapshoot to bet anytime any of those teams
have kind of been
involved.
a crapshoot this year.
The Bills have, definitely. And the Bills offense, I like that. Especially if Stroud plays, the 43.5, I like the over on that one a lot. The Chicago Bears.
How do they
First
keep doing
place, Chicago Bears.
How do they keep doing it?
Well, they're playing a team, though, this weekend, and the Steelers, who sort of kind of been the same way.
Yeah.
Except now the Bears are favored by 2.5 at home, and I don't. Are we sure about your real dad, your real biological dad, Aaron Rodgers?
Who knows? This line tells you these teams are pretty even. I think they are. I would, even if Rodgers plays, I'd probably lean Chicago at home. Looks like the weather's going to be halfway decent, so
Steelers
total
defense
might be
not
something
good
to look at.
I like again. Here's another game where I like the over under 45.5.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
So Lions and the Giants. The Lions, boy. Watch that game Sunday night, and Dan Campbell, I think if it was 4th and whatever from wherever, he was going for it.
Yeah, what were they? They started. What were they? 0 for 5, 0 for 6.
Before they hit their last one.
Against that, I mean, you're not going to beat Philly kicking field goals. You might have on that night. That's just Jared Goff just didn't look like himself.
It was road. Not great weather. Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a warm weather dome quarterback.
Yeah,
and he has proven that time and time again. So,
and look where they are. That they're at home,
favored by 10.5 against famous Jameis and the Giants.
I would. This feels like your prototypical bounce back at home. You got a not so good team coming in. I just feel like Detroit by probably 20.
A million. Okay. Yeah. The Titans and the Seahawks. The Seahawks got it handed to them by the Rams. I still think they're a good team. Yeah. But this is a 13.5 point line.
That's a stay away for me. That's too many. I know the Titans stink, but that is
an over-under
of
only 40.5.
Yeah. I mean, the Titans probably won't score more than 10 points. But
right.
God, that's a lot of points to lay on the road.
That is. I don't blame you there. I think that's a good one for a stay away, too. Another big road favorite, the Patriots, your AFC top seed currently Patriots, at 8.5 at the Bengals.
Again, this is probably more of a total than anything. I think the Bengals have been an over machine. Not last week, but maybe if you live bet that at halftime, possibly. But yeah, I again, more than a touchdown on the road is tough in the NFL. But if anybody can cover it, it's New England. But that might be more of a total. Maybe buy it down 47, 48.5.
Again, I do like the over-under, though. That might be one I do, too. The Ravens, another team still trying to claw and fight in its playoff life. Tyrod Taylor will be manning the controls for the Jets, Jets. Ravens at home favored by 13.5.
Ravens might be the hottest team in football right now.
Yep.
I wouldn't step in front of that freight train. If there is you won't catch me on the Jets. I'll just say that's for sure.
No, who would bet on them? The Chiefs again fighting for their playoff life.
How fun is this?
They needed last week's game and didn't get it. Here now they have the AFC, another one of the AFC's top teams, Colts. Who'd have said that at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
Chiefs favored by 3.5. They are at home against the Colts. They desperately needed last week. They really desperately need this.
And you saw this game in the preseason. You think, one team's probably going to be 8-2, one's going to be 5-5. Not this. No,
not at all.
Not this way. Flipped around.
Not this way.
And it's It looks like it's not going to be cold, but there's some rain in the forecast Saturday. Typically, whatever the weather is here is what it was 5 hours ago or 12 hours ago in Kansas City.
Yep.
So it looks like there's going to be some rain. Not sure if, the Colts play their home game. Again, another dome team. Going
Daniel
on the road in
Jones
the
is
rain.
another guy a lot like Jared Goff.
So I would, and it's hard to bet against Mahomes and Breed, must-win game, isn't it? That might be a case.
Well,
where,
I bet on him last week and they hosed me. So actually, I did pretty. I went like 8-5 last week. So I did well in just the games. It was just some of the props I didn't do well on. So, but decent.
If you can get Chiefs money line at a decent number, lean that way, or maybe get it down to 2.5.
Vikings. Packers sounds like Josh Jacobs is out. That's a big hurt. But boy, the Vikings don't look good at all right now.
No, they don't. They're falling off. They've fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, J.J. McCarthy really struggling, and what is really his rookie year, even though he was around last year when he was hurt. But he's just not looking ready for prime time just yet. But the Packers at home -6.5. I still like them in this situation, even without Jacobs. But the Packers have lost a lot of receiver weapons too, with Kraft and then some of the other guys who are out, Jaden Reed. But I still think I like the Packers to cover this one because this is another team that again they've got to get some wins strung together now because the Bears are playing so well. Again, the Bears are. Nobody would have thought the Bears would have been first place on the weekend going into Thanksgiving,
and they're 7-3 with a negative point differential.
Yeah. And
think about that for a second.
And are the Packers looking ahead because they get to go to Detroit on Thanksgiving? So, I like the Packers, but I think there's a few things that are working against them just a little bit. So, Jags Cards. Jaguars are 3-point favorites on the road. This is definitely an over game, I think.
You think so?
Because Jacoby Brissett, man, you throw 68 passes last week or something?
Set a new completions record.
And a new completions record, yeah. So I think I like the over in this. I like the Jags. It just depends on which team's going to show up.
I know they're so Jekyll and Hyde, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll boat race. They'll beat Kansas City. They'll boat race L.A. and then they'll lay an egg against somebody. So you never. And they're a team where it's not necessarily. I mean, they play better at home, but it's not necessarily a home road thing with them either. It just kind of depends on if Trevor Lawrence is in rhythm. If
he hasn't been in rhythm much, honestly. He misses some targets.
And the defense is big for them. If their defense shows up, they can beat anybody.
Speaking of defense, the Browns. Whew, man, they play some defense. I mean, Myles Garrett is an unstoppable machine right now. Why are the Raiders favored by 3.5 at home against the Browns? Because that Raiders team the other night was that I watched Dallas whip up on was god awful.
Yeah,
they couldn't do anything.
I mean that's what 2.5 points for home field, so you're talking 1.5. If there's obviously they're in the AFC, so there's no way they'd play in the Super Bowl, and they both stink, so there's no way they would even get there.
I guess so. They're assuming Shadir Sanders is a quarterback. Is that what they're betting
that's
on?
Probably.
This is an under. Maybe this is an under. 36.5.
36. My God. 20-17 go get you over. But is either team going to score 20? That's the.
The Raiders won't score 20.
You might. This might be a game where you look at either defense or special teams to score a touchdown. Maybe you would think.
Myles Garrett sacks,
field
that kind of stuff.
Position might not be all that great.
Yeah.
So that might be an
interesting
angle to take.
But it is in climate-controlled Vegas too. So
that kind of scares me away from an under. You always run the risk of
it's very few points.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys coming off that big win, emotional win Monday night against the Raiders, but the Eagles are favored by 3 at Dallas, and the Eagles, it ain't pretty, but man, it works.
They get the job done, don't
they? They just club you. Mm-hmm. Their defense beats you up the middle. Their offense pounds you. They push you. It's just when you're done playing them, you feel like you lost whether you won or lost. Now I know they had a shootout and a close game earlier in the year. I also just saw some stuff online right before we started about Dak Prescott's potential health. So if that's the case, but it looks like right now they're saying he's going to play with the Eagles only being favored by 3 because if he wasn't, that line's going to catapult.
That'd be a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. 7.5 easy. Yeah. So I do like I think the Eagles will continue to hold serve, but the Cowboys do need this one.
They've been a different team at home too, and
they have
played much better, especially defensively as of late.
They've been another team where even the controlled environment and stuff, like they played really well in Vegas the other night. So another dirty South game. Saints, Falcons. Penix out for the year. Michael Penix has had 5 season-ending injuries in his last 8 seasons of professional and college ball. You think the Falcons might have known that going in when they drafted him?
You would think he would maybe, I don't know, if come back down to earth. Like the law of averages tell you eventually he's not going to get hurt. You would think, but God, you just feel for that. I'm staying the hell away from this game.
Yeah, 39.5 the over/under too. So
get me the hell away from it.
Just nothing. No dirty South.
No.
Shane steers clear of the South. A big game Sunday night. Rams Bucks. Rams favored by 6.5.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah. But the Bucks haven't quite been themselves. Well, I don't know if this is the actual Bucks or if the first half of the season was. But they're not trending in the right direction, and their defense isn't anything to write home about.
The chatter of the Baker might be a little banged up.
If that's the case, give me the Rams all day.
He plays so hard. That's the thing. I mean, I think this time of year.
That's only a touchdown.
It is. But yeah, no, I like the Rams a lot in this game too. The Panthers. The mystery Panthers, who are all of a sudden sniffing a playoff berth.
Right.
They're
6-5.
They're 6-5. The Niners, who have, of course, everybody on their defense banged up. Purdy is back. Yes, if you bet on the Christian McCaffrey healthy fantasy season, you're probably doing really well in your league, like me. Niners favored by 7.
Yeah,
against a feisty Panthers team.
Those feisty Panthers. They're only a game out of the division lead.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that? That's a tricky. That's a tough line. And these two teams have been tough to gauge all year. You would think with the Niners and their injuries would eventually catch up to them. Some weeks it has, other weeks it hasn't. They look like the same old Niners. The Panthers, one week will lose 30-0 and then go and beat teams.
Bryce Young threw for 445 last week.
They're another one of those teams that's hard to gauge. I mean, if you like betting on those primetime dogs, I think the Panthers are as live a one as any. Maybe get it to 7.5. If you can get it anything over a touchdown, I think I'd like Carolina.
48.5 the over/under. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I
think all the injuries the Niners have on defense and the way Bryce Young has played at times, I wouldn't hate that.
All right. Well, like I said, we will not have a show next week because of Thanksgiving, and Shane has to head back to St. Charles County to eat like 17 different holiday meals. So before he gears up for a busy sports weekend, so he'll probably get a brief break. But anyway, just want to thank you guys for watching. We'll be back the week after Thanksgiving, and remember 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Bet with your head, bet with your heart. And also, thank you for watching us, and also want to thank Utopia Event Center and Heck Gaming for sponsoring Picks, Parlays, and Pints.